Oh my god, thank you very much. How are you guys doing? We're gonna start with believe it's Respio. Wants to be a props or environment artist. Hi. Hi Vincent. Hello. Hey Neil, what's up? Hi Curious. Hi Virus. Freezy. The demon himself. The famous Din? I don't know about that. Alright, let's get started. Ah! There's stuff on my face. I was like, how's the webcam look? Oh, it looks like a bunch of emojis. Cool. Just started working on diorama. Nice. Probably gonna get some ice cream for the stream. Oh my god. That sounds good, man. Okay. So straight up, we've got Respio with props or environment. So not sure which direction to go, I guess. We're going to start at the top one. We've got a teddy bear, piano teddy bear diorama. Oh, I've looked at this before. Have we looked at this portfolio before? Or maybe I was just glancing at it. Let's, give me a second here. I'm going to double check this really fast. This is such a nice asset, by the way. And the material for the teddy bear is like freaking, it's spot on. It is spot on. Yeah, I've seen it was Discord critiques. I think you're right. Well, this hasn't really changed for me. It still looks pretty good. The breakdowns for this are pretty good. This is interesting. Crayons, man. Faz, what's up? Mr. Popo, how you doing? So yeah, this I mean in general this is pretty solid. Geometry count wise looks like it's just high enough, maybe a little bit of geo on the head there to just keep it rounded. But that's getting pretty picky. And then I guess with the wireframe down here, you probably don't need that much geometry in the center area. You could just like close it all up and like merge all those verts. It's pretty picky, but you know. Yeah, storytelling is pretty good in this. I like it. I think previously we talked about maybe like making it look like there was an area where a kid had been hanging out, because it's not really. It must be here that the kid was chilling, just because of the directions of the heart and where the crayon is resting. And then I talked about maybe spacing these out. I remember now. Space these out because they're so even in how they're spaced. Yeah, that one's pretty cool though. This gun looks pretty awesome. The textural information going on here, I can't tell what type of material this is. I'm also not a gun person. Add some blood by the Legos. Nice. It's all about the storytelling, right? So this, in general, modeling wise, looks pretty solid. Text looks pretty good. Around this area looks pretty nice with the way the wood's kind of bending in and stuff. On this side, the wood grain looks a little strange, and then there's this little micro dripping stuff that's happening. Or maybe it's cracks. I'm not sure. It's small enough that. Thanks, Curious. It's small enough that it's messing with my brain's concept of the scale of this weapon, right? Like this is telling me it's much larger. If that is drips. See, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what those are. I think where this needs the love is in your roughness map. This is awesome with the hands. Strongly suggest doing this. If you're a weapons artist, seeing it in hands is key, in my opinion. I'm not a weapons artist. It's just I like seeing it held. The tangibility is nice. Yeah, and the engraving stuff is pretty cool. It's also a good angle to have. Dude, some akimbo action going on there. Polycount wise looks pretty good. Yeah, I think it's just your roughness. Man, see, this is where I really wish we had a tool for critiquing. Like maybe if Marmoset had like an option, or if Artstation had an option where you could, like, I don't know, tune roughness values and metalness values with just sliders, just to say, like, see, this is kind of a little bit more in the direction I think it should go. Some material adjustment tweaking would be freaking awesome in browser. Anywho, so I would take a pass. Let's look at it in here, because this might tell a different story. I mean, this is pretty shiny. I don't know how accurate that is, but I like it. See, what this is doing for me is it's separating itself material variation wise, right? And I think let's see here. I think if there was more separation, or of like little parts of this where in this range, you could get a much more interesting. So like this area here, that I think this is the action. I could be wrong. I'm not a gun guy. This slides around, you know, like you pull that back to drop a round in the chamber, or bring a round up into the chamber. And if there's one in there, pulling that back will eject that. So there should be some like rough, like it's happening a little bit here, but some roughness scraping here, and probably a little bit more of a raw surface similar to this with directional scratching, especially here, just because those pieces are moving quite a bit, especially when you're fully automatic. It's all full on, just da 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 da, right? And every time that round is fired, this is going forward and backwards and forward and backwards. Got to get that storytelling and the roughness. And then look at the roughness difference of the wood versus the metal. This area right here feels pretty nice. I think of this little guy and this, let's see. Yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah, I think if these guys were, this little thing, these little pieces were all kind of in this range, you could get some nice, some lovely variation. But yeah, it's probably enough on this. Well modeled, nice bake. I remember looking at this scene a while back. This is super cool. I think the weakest thing in this shot is so the weakest thing in this shot, I think, is the mountains in the back, just because of how tall they are and how quickly they fall off into the scene. Like back here, it just drops real quickly. What's up, man? Let's see what else we got here. I don't have my... I need my Streamlabs. So the mountains are probably the weakest thing in this shot. This... I can't do it. So mountains, the weakest thing. Address those. That'll help a ton. Next up is probably the tree up front. The leaves seem to be what would you call it? The leaves feel like their subsurface is too strong, so you're not seeing the underside of the leaves. So you lose all of the volume, right, of the leaves themselves in clumps and whatnot, and understanding what's the underside of a leaf. Getting that back will help immensely. For the The trunk itself might be a little too thick. I can't tell. I know that there's the rule of like this branch. This thickness should be half the size of this, and usually no smaller. There are a few circumstances in which it'll be smaller, but if this naturally branched off of this trunk, it's usually about 50% of the size of what it's branching from. That's usually the golden rule. And then where these connect, making sure that the black pattern in the texture is not really clipping into that area. And then because it's so close, I would totally take the time and model some little pieces of the white bark that's peeling back. Just model it on there just to break up the edge and get that. Because like if you see it here and a little bit here and maybe a little there, your brain's going to be like, oh, that must be all over this tree. So it tricks your brain into thinking there's much more detail than there actually is, which is totally fine. I mean, why should you add that detail up here in a real-time scenario, right? That's just extra geometry you shouldn't be paying for. And then the other thing that I would mention is the zebra tree. It's true. These trees are crazy weird. The trees in the back are very evenly branched. So like you're getting some weird like gaps in there. It's totally fine on every once in a while. Like this one right here feels pretty natural. But these ones back here, it's starting to look like it's a generated version versus like an actual like tree. Like even just snapping off every few, like we'll just do this. Look at Photoshop up. Oh man, I just realized my Unity is still open. It's probably eating into my stream quality a little bit. I'll close that in a second here. So just taking this, we'll just like coming back here. You see how natural those look all of a sudden? And it's just like breaking up that randomness. Bob Rossed it, man. Bob Rossed it indeed. It's breaking up it's making it more random. It's breaking up the kind of like even pattern of the branches. Like even shortening some of them, because branches have it hard, man. You know, they're like, oh no, it's fine. I'm just gonna grow up. I'm gonna get to the sun, and then something happens. Lightning hits the tree, screws up like half the tree, kills it instantly or something. That one's stunted and becomes black, or like this one was growing really close to another one when it was younger. So the branches that are up high, where they were close to the other tree, are just going to be smaller because they weren't able to get the sunlight at an early branch age, if you want to call it that. This, I would say, sure, is a little dark. There's a weird effect where like you have this panel, this thing here, the metal sheet metal, is not shadowing this or this one. Like those need to be, hang on here. Those need to be pushed back, basically. Oh man, that's super procedural looking. Or like Stampy. Clone Stampy. I'm sorry. But like, see how much more impactful that is? You get the highlight on top, which kind of gives the light wrapping around the surface. Maybe you get a little bit of a highlight. Make sure I'm doing this right. Doing the shadows, no. Highlights. No. Well, this kind of works. Get a little bit of the highlight on the side and then on the top. Oh, hey, yeah, don't do that. Still a little strong, but I think that gets the point across. Yeah. So, in general, though, overall, this is pretty solid. Oh man, one more thing. We've got a little bit longer. The power of ambient occlusion is something you can't miss, man. Like if I do this. And then I guess they'd have to do it over here too. 2 seconds here. What? What is happening? Oh, right. I need to learn my hotkeys, man. It's kind of hard to tell what these shapes are that are going on in here. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it, but it'll give the illusion I'm talking about. Like, dude, look what that's doing. Like the amount of depth you're getting out of that. Obviously, it looks kind of weird because I'm not doing it everywhere. So much depth. I want you to modify every frame when I play a game. That's gonna be some slow frame rate, my friend. What else was I gonna say? So let me. That dude, see how much it helps though? Like what it does for the space. Oh my gosh, feels good. Feels good. Like even maybe like the doorway could have like maybe a different wood. Like the same wood, but maybe it was grabbed at a different time. Do you see like just adding a value shift so that the door pops from the rest of the frame? I'll get faster with more experience. Not with that stuff, man. But yeah, dude, this stuff's huge. This will immensely increase the quality of your images, I think. Just getting that kind of that volume. Anywho, yeah. Dude, it's really doing it here. I think this is more successful than what's going on here. I probably just need to tone this one down. It's probably too strong. But yeah. Din post-process profile. That's awesome. Overall, though, the scene's freaking solid. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, look at that breakdown. See that? Oh, man, this looks so... I guess maybe the GI is too strong, and it's like the bounce is just blowing it out too much. This is like so interesting. I really like when people break this stuff down too. This is good. Oh yeah, dude, this is great. Kind of wish the doors were more open. And like you have all these broken pieces. You should like, I don't know if you can even see it in this shot. Maybe not. But it'd be interesting to see some of those broken pieces around it. Just kind of falling on the ground over time. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Overall, I think What is that, man? That's 1,000, dude. 269, buddy. How you doing? Thanks, buddy. How have you been? What games you playing? Oh, man, right in the heart. Right in the heart. Thanks, dude. When are we going to have a steak again, man? Yes, this portfolio is pretty solid. I think if you want to go into environment art, this is a very, very strong piece, minus the stuff that I commented on. Like, would you just fix those up or adjust the mountains and tweak the tree a little bit, work on the shadows in the tower and the branches on the trees? This will be like over 100%. Where it's at right now is already pretty good. On that Monster Hunter, it's one hell of a drug. Oh man, did that make you number one? That's hilarious. Thanks, dude. If you want to be a props artist, I think that you need to be working more on your roughness variation and roughness believability based on material types that you're trying to imitate. So, like, these are both very technically strong and how well they were modeled and baked, but they're losing their fidelity through the roughness map. If you can get those looking really good and singing the material that that's trying to represent, you're going to be in a good spot. I think you need one more environment of this quality, maybe even better if you want. Should always shoot for better. And then, yeah, apply away. I think it's already pretty strong, though. This is, you could apply and someone will be like, yeah, all right, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Give them something. Cool. All right. I'll be right back, and then we'll switch to the next portfolio. Be right back.